Are you looking for a Malfurion deck to take down Onyxia? Well, today I'm excited to share with you a powerful strategy that worked for me, and I'm confident that it will do the same for you. Today, we're going to dive into the action against one of the most intimidating bosses, the pinnacle of the solo campaign, Onyxia. As you might know, Onyxia is an absolute beast of a boss, which requires a carefully crafted deck and a solid understanding of her mechanics. What if I told you there was a deck that was particularly well suited for this fight? Well, this Malfurion deck is packed with powerful synergies that are going to help you both offensive and defensive. Let's dive into it. Starting out then with the leader, Malfurion. Malfurion having plenty of health, a great single target damage dealer, and with the Germinate talent, he's going to give any of the towers that we own that protection to be able to take a few hits in case you get it a little bit wrong in the fight, which we'll probably see in my video. Also, the passive of being when Malfurion is on the battlefield will give a passive healing effect to your alliance and Cenarian minis. We haven't got any Cenarian minis, but we've got a couple of alliance, well, we've got 3 alliance minis in there for that synergy. So if they drop below 30% health, they get that heal over time, which is only going to help because our main tank is alliance and probably our main damage dealer is also alliance. So that is just going to work perfectly for us. We've got Harvest Golem in there with the chicken talent. Why are we using the chicken talent? Well, the enemy has got plenty of single target minis, so that's going to buy us a little bit of extra time and just you know, let us set ourselves and kind of figure out what's going on. So we're coming up against things like grunts, necromancer, griffin rider. Yeah, there are also some splash damage minis that we're going to go up against, but I do think that the chickens work better in this one than the stun talent, although you might be able to get away with either. And the passive healing from Malfurion is going to mean that the Harvest Golem can stick around for quite a long time. So one of our main damage dealers then will be the Huntress, got the Elven Might talent on there, giving a 50% damage increase to the first target hit. You can probably use the stealth talent on this one as well, but I've gone for Elven Might this time. We've also got in there the Witch Doctor with the Spirit Ward talent. Yeah, that for me, that's the only talent that you should be using on this one because that's going to add that shield to any of your minis. Once Witch Doctor has killed something, we've got the Pyromancer in there with the Pyroblast talent for that additional damage on the first hit. Goes really, really well going up against properly tanky minis like the Gargoyle or those grunts. Cheat Death in there with the Vampirism talent, so any minis affected by Cheat Death will be healed when they receive damage. Again, that's only going to mean that our pushes last longer, and we're going to use that kind of sporadically, but mostly in that overtime period where we try and push Onyxia into phase 3 and use as many cheat deaths as we can. And then finally, we've got in there the Sneaky Bandits with the Lockpick talent for the double gold from chests. Absolutely essential in any Onyxia deck because you're going to want to get as much gold as you can, so make sure to keep your bandits in hand for when that chest spawns. Anyway, that is the deck. Now looking at it, you might not have a Malfurion that's level 29. That's fine. You can get away with having a Malfurion that's a lower level than that. Probably around 25, 26 would be fine. I have tried to put some of my minis in non-optimal places to make the average cost of this deck a little bit more sensible. I think it's late 26s off the top of my head. Average cost was 3.0, so cycles pretty quickly. But anyway, that's the deck. This is how I did it. A couple of points to note then about the strategy. So the first one is that I'm really not that bothered about when we phase Onyxia from phase 1 to phase 2, as long as it happens on my terms. And what I mean by that is as long as I've got gold in hand to be able to deal with what is going on. So don't be too keen in pushing Onyxia from phase 1 to phase 2. The second one around timings is that I really wouldn't push Onyxia to phase 3 until the start of overtime, or pretty close to the start of overtime, because the extra gold income at that point is just going to help you with all those extra minis that appear in the lieutenants and all the rest of it. Third point would be that you can use Cheat Death kind of as and when you want, but remembering that because we've got the Vampirism talent on it, that minis are going to heal when they take damage, and because you've got the Alliance minis in there who are going to be healed by Malfurion's passive as well, is that sometimes your push might last longer than you expected it to and do more damage to Onyxia than what you expected. So just be careful that you don't phase Onyxia when you don't want to. Anyway, that is enough about that. Let's have a look at it in action then. So You'll see at the start here, I do kind of go for a little bit of an all-in. I'd love to tell you that I made this deck and I tried it once and it worked perfectly and all the rest of it, but it didn't. I did have a few goes with this. And also with my opening hand, I didn't have a tank, I didn't have bandits, but I still want to get the gold from that chest. And then I want to put together a sizable push to be able to take the siege tower in the middle, then the one on the left, and then round to the one on the right. So we've done a good job on the middle. Harvest Golem got a bit confused there. He's now coming round to the left. We're going to drop another Pyromancer down there just to get rid of that Gary Gargoyle. But you can already see that both of the siege towers that we own have got that Germinate, have got that that protective shield on them, which is just going to help us out later in case we make any mistakes. So I think it's a level 25 Witch Doctor can take out a side of Whelpegs all by itself with the Spirit Ward talent. I did drop Malfurion on the right side. If the Whelpegs have already spawned, Malfurion being single target, he's going to have a hard time over there. So you're going to want to pair Malfurion with something, or don't use Malfurion for that job at all. So as I said, I'm happy to cheat death this. We have got the Wi-Fi symbol of doom in the top right, which is odd because I'm on my PC. But anyway, we're going to drop cheat death on that because, like I said, I don't mind when we phase Onyxia as long as it happens when I want it to happen. And like I say, all that means is that I've got gold in hand so I can deal with everything that's going on. Cut Malfurion there, just ticking away, healing himself. Good for you. So what I tend to do on this is when I've got like excess gold is I cycle a Harvest Golem on the right side next to our base. So I just supported that Harvest Golem with a Witch Doctor because I don't want to throw it away. And as you can see on the left side there, Malfurion doing good work on the Gargoyle, and because of the protective shield that we had up, we took 0 damage from Gary Gargoyle there, which is nice. And that gives us that kind of that flexibility, or gives us that sort of insurance so that we can kind of make some mistakes and get away with it. This deck's quite forgiving, which is good for me because I make a lot of mistakes. So I've used a cheat death on that big push on the right. 1, because it's a big push and I didn't want it to get wiped out by that Drake. 2, because if we phase Onyxia now, which we have done, I've got 8 gold in hand, which is fine. We've got no Whelpegs on the left or the right to deal with, so the next push will be to reclaim the siege tower on the left. The best way of doing that is going to be with the Harvest Golem up front, and then one of our splash damage dealers, Huntress or Pyromancer, will be excellent on that. And then working our way around to the right. In fact, the tower on the right was taken by the Harvest Golem that we cycled in the back earlier, making a nuisance of itself. But now we've got double Pyromancer, double Huntress, Harvest Golem tanking, so that phase transition was about as easy as it's going to get, which is good for me, good for us. Malfurion's facing the wrong way on the left there, but he does turn around and take out that Drake. We pretty much, if you've got Witch Doctor in hand, because the deck cycles quite quickly, only costing the average cost of 3 gold, that you can Witch Doctor one side, and then you can get back to another one and Witch Doctor the other side as well if you're early enough, which is always which is also really like cheap and cost effective way of doing that, which is nice. So we've lost the tower on the right, but to be honest, at this point we're just sort of wasting time, and we've got so many offensive options here. I mean, we've already got another Harvest Golem and Witch Doctor coming up from the right, and then we've got a Pyromancer, a Huntress and Malfurion on the left. So we'll take this tower back in absolutely no time at all. But like I said, if we weren't kind of contesting and fighting for these towers a little bit, then we'd sort of be sat on excess gold. I've cheat deathed all of that because it was a big push. I'll be honest with you, that was a bit risky. I got a bit nervous at this point. I thought I'd overcooked it, but just about got away with it. We'll say it was well played, but I think it was a bit lucky. But yeah, just keep on Keep on cycling minis in the back left and the back right. Keep on farming gold. As I said, yeah, we lost that tower on the right again to that Gary Gargoyle, but we got so much kind of in the way of support that's on the way. Drop a Pyromancer on the left to help out that Malfurion. Like I said before, Malfurion's probably going to need a bit of support if he's going up against the whole wing of Ojh&x. So 45 seconds to go. Thinking of dropping a Malfurion on the left, but with the size of the push we've got on the right, that was definitely going to phase Onyxia, so I thought I'll just keep hold of it. I'll cycle a Harvest Golem back right near our core, and then I can kind of set up, because we're definitely going to phase Onyxia in a moment. And there it is. Onyxia has been phased into phase 3, and we're 20 seconds away from overtime. Let me just pause it there quickly. So at this stage, because we've been setting up our Harvest Golems and Hunches and Pyromancer and Malfurion in the right side, is that we can walk forward. In fact, let me play it on a little bit more. That we can work our way up this right side to take this from this kind of furthest away right siege tower. Once you've got that and you've got control of that, then you've got easy access to Onyxia. Happy days. Obviously, it means we've got the right lieutenant to deal with. And what I'd probably say normally is just concentrate your efforts on going for this right lieutenant and right siege tower. So keep on cycling your Harvest Golems and Hunches, etc. on this right side. If you need support, you can use the right deployment box from this central siege tower. Job's a good one. What I actually did on this one was I defended this central siege tower as well, because we've got 2 minutes 20, so we're not going to, we're not like rushing for time. I actually defend this central siege tower, kill both of the lieutenants, and go from there. But like I say, you can probably just be more attacking with it, because you've got the cheat death in there as well. But anyway, this is how I do it, so let's have a look. So Huntress does mega work against the lieutenants, because Huntress is resistant, and because of the passive healing. So if we look at the Huntress in the top right corner, literally just smokes this lieutenant like by herself pretty much. Another Huntress down in the middle is going to help us take out that Gary Gargoyle. We've got a Harvest Golem up front. And then we've got that top right siege tower, and it's got the Germinate on it as well. We've got excess gold, so we'll put a cheat death down to get a bit of extra damage in there. And the Huntress in the middle is doing work on the lieutenant in the middle as well. So yeah, really good. What I would say is don't get too target focused at this point. I get a little bit drawn in sometimes to concentrating on Onyxia and the battles that are going on up there. And as you can see down the left here, we're going up against an Earth Elemental, 2 Grunts, 3 Spiderlings, and soon we'll be going up against all them Whelps as well. So just keep an eye on that. But your main effort at this point is going to be cycling Huntresses, Harvest Golems, any of your other damage dealers from that right hand siege tower. Cheat death on a lot of it, and yeah, good stuff. So at this stage, minutes ago, we've got hold of most of the siege towers. We've killed pretty much everything, so now we just need to kill Onyxia. So we've got Huntress and Malfurion down. We've got a Harvest Golem, I can remember his name. Harvest Golem up top. Pyromancer coming down. Before Onyxia does his breath, we will cheat death all of that. With 30 seconds to go, yeah, we're taking a bit of damage now, but with 30 seconds to go, we're in a bit of a now or never. We kind of either commit to the kill, or we just run out of time, basically. So we commit to the kill, and with just less than 20 seconds to go, cheat death on all of that, 15 seconds to go. That is the end of that. So like I say, you can probably be more aggressive than me, but because we had so much time, and because the Huntress was doing absolute work against the lieutenants, I thought, you know what, we'll just play pretty passively. So anyway, if you do have a go with this deck, then let me know how you get on. If you're not already, please get yourself subscribed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.